Hello, postpartum ones. How you doing today? I wanted to show you our top picks for postpartum to help you kind of navigate and plan your listening. Um, so if you have not purchased a lifetime access pass at the early bird rate, then you'll have access to the videos for 24 hours. The first video starts is Saturday, April 23rd, and then we also have videos on Sunday, April 24th, and again Monday, April 25th. So each video will be available for 24 hours for viewing. And so I put together our top picks for postpartum so that you can kind of plan your schedule a little bit easier and make sure that you show up for the videos that you really want to see, the speakers that you really want to see. So my name is Melissa Chin Casey. I'm going to show you around the page. Let me just share my screen a little bit with you, and then I'll introduce you to the speakers and tell you a little bit about these amazing, what's going on here? Okay, so top 10 favorite interviews for postpartum. I see myself twice on the screen. Let me scroll on down and I'm gonna introduce you. So essentially what we have is each speaker has a little information about them, their name, what they do, and then the title of their interview, and then a little bit about the interview. But then down here in the yellow button, it shows when it's going to start. Okay, and then again, it'll be available for 24 hours. So Jenny Putt, you're going to be able to view her from 1 p.m. Saturday, April 23rd until 1 p.m. Sunday, April 24th, unless you upgrade to the lifetime access pass. So, okay, now let's get into who Jenny Putt is and what she does. She is this really beautiful pelvic floor physical therapist, and she shares with us kind of how do you know if something's going wrong with your pelvis. What's interesting is that the symptoms don't show up just in your pelvis. It can show up in your core, it can show up in your lower back, in your legs, things like that. So she kind of shares with us what to look for, and then she teaches people how to heal themselves. So she's got these really amazing classes. She's actually going to be teaching through the Womb and Birth Collective. So if you're interested in what she has to say, then keep in touch with us, and we'll give you more information about her class, which she does in groups so that you can ask questions and things like that. The next speaker is Catherine Ferreira. She's from Colombia, and she learned her traditional Colombian postpartum practices, but then she also studied global nourishing traditions and global postpartum practices, and she gives a lot of information about what to cook, what to eat, but not just that, how to cook it, how to bring community into your cooking, and how to bring this kind of reverence and kind of ritual into your cooking to nourish yourself on many different levels. Really fascinating what she shares. Sabrina Dora Lopez is a Ayurvedic practitioner who shares their Ayurvedic perspectives on postpartum care, and she touches on emotional eating. She is a kind of a lifestyle coach, so she works very closely one-on-one with people to help not just teach you about Ayurveda, but implement these lifestyle practices so that you're successful. So she's a great resource for postpartum people. Shanaz Ikone. So Shanaz is a mental health professional. She's a licensed counselor and therapist, and she talks about addressing mental health through all phases of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. But she also talks about like how to find a provider and how to implement a crisis plan. One of her best advice is, which for me at least, I found fascinating, was that we should all be is in pregnancy meeting with a licensed counselor or licensed mental health professional, so that way if in the postpartum things get a little bit challenging, we already know someone that we could just pick up the phone. We don't have to worry about trying to find someone. So she gives us tips on crisis management, on embodiment practices. She comes from a very intersectional and marginalized community worldview. She comes from she holds a space for trauma also really beautifully, and she's available online, so check her out. Alba Gozalbez, she's an energy worker, so Brennan Healing Sciences practitioner, and she teaches us about childhood woundings and how our woundings can show up in a pregnancy. I'm sorry, in parenting. And then also when our children get wounded, how as parents we can help them through that so that it's less traumatic, or that it just kind of teaches them a lesson instead of changing their worldview to like a more negative one. Um, Guang Ming Whitley. I read her book when I was postpartum. She's got this really beautiful, concise book of Chinese traditional postpartum healing. And she talks about belly binding and special foods and special exercises and staying home for a certain amount of time. And her big why is because her mother suffered from pretty difficult postpartum mental health challenges, and her mother did not get the traditional postpartum. Her mother immigrated to the US and was pretty isolated, and so Guangming, she uses this to combat her own mental health issues and to help heal her mother, who helps her through this, helps heal her mother and just reconnect their ancestry and their lineage and their culture. Shubhangani Prakash. She is an Ayurvedic, well, she's a skincare woman, but she's got Ayurvedic roots, and she makes Ayurvedic newborn skincare. But she not only teaches us how to look for ingredients and why to look for ingredients, and gives us a toolkit on how we can be more clean and choose more wisely, but she also tells us why. She talks about these studies that they did on the newborn blood and what they're finding in it. So it's very fascinating. And she's just really pleasant to watch, so check her out. Karina Fitch. Karina Fitch was born on the farm, which if you are into birthy things and natural birth, you may have heard of the farm. It's a intentional community from the 60s or 70s, and they're pretty well known for their birth center and their midwifery care. So she was born on the farm. She became a midwife, and she moved back to the farm, and she's working on the mental health crisis. So she works with people in the postpartum period, and check out her video. Michelle Perta, she's fascinating. She's a relationship coach, and I asked her to speak because postpartum time can be very challenging. But what I really love about her is that even though her work is in relationships, her real work is in your relationship to self, honoring yourself, listening to yourself, getting through challenges, breaking through, nourishing your inner child, and things like that. Just being very authentic and communicating really well with yourself, and then how that can go out and affect the relationships you have with others. So this is by all means not an exhaustive list of who will give you amazing information, but it's a great place to start. If you'd like to see more speakers, then you would go to the schedule page on on the menu. There's a schedule up here, and you can see the full speaker lineup. You can see the full schedule. Saturday, April 23rd, and it's in order. So this one's at 9, Dr. Lisa's at 10, Sylvia is at 11, centering pregnancy at 12. And as you move down, you'll see all of I think we have about 26 speakers. And they're all just amazing. So I would recommend all of them. I've learned so much from talking to them, even though I've been a birth professional for 15 years. It's just amazing what they're sharing. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is this Facebook community. Oops, that's not the community. Those are my chickens. So this Facebook community that we have, it's the facebook.com. Let me type it in here now, /groups/womb and birth collective. And when you go there, this is where we're all meeting up. We'd like to plan some live meetups with you all. So if you go to the Facebook group and just kind of stay in touch and engage here, then we'll be able to schedule a meetup and get to know you, especially in the postpartum time. It's really, the collective was made to create community. We are listeners before anything else. We're not like pushing childbirth education and information on you. We're here to listen to you. We've got a whole team of healers and doulas and postpartum doulas and mentors and midwives in the collective. And we're here for you to just kind of, we've seen what community can do, and what keeping together and being there, being supportive for one another can do. So I would urge you to just be a part of this group and come to the meetups. I think we're going to try to plan one for during the summit, maybe the weekend of the summit, maybe like a lunch hour or something meetup, but or maybe right after the summit's over. But if you keep in touch and engage with us in the community, meet some of the people who are there, that's a great place for you to start. Okay, and the other thing I want to do is I want to urge you to buy an early bird ticket, and here's why. There's so much good information, and it's really hard to get all 30, or maybe you only want to see a dozen. It's really hard to get all of them in, all of these interviews. If you buy an early bird pass, you're going to save a ton of money. You're going to get lifetime access to the videos, MP3 downloads that you can listen to in audio, like when you're walking or exercising or cooking or, going to the beach or going on a hike or something. You're going to get PDF highlights for the speakers, and you're going to get bonus downloads from the speakers. And here's the great part is the money, the resources that you are using to buy the ticket, we're putting that right back into advertising, because we believe so much in creating this community. We believe so much in creating and sharing these messages with all of these wonderful speakers that basically anything that you spend on your early bird ticket goes right back into advertising. So I encourage you to be a part of the movement and be a part of creating and spreading and this message of love and really this gift that all of these interviewers are giving. So that's it. The summit is April 23rd to 25th. Oh, there is one more thing. If you have purchased a ticket, I want to show you around the website. So essentially, if you've purchased a ticket, you're going to go to the login, which is up top in the menu, or if you have not registered yet, you can go to registration. So when you push login, this is going to pop up. If you haven't registered, again, just click register. There's, I think, 4 or 5 questions, like your name, your email, things like that. And then it'll take you to the page where you're enrolled in your courses. And so the courses they're called courses, but it's basically the summit that lives online, and you can access that for life. So that is it. I will see you there. Please join us on our meetup. Please be a part of our community and just let us know who you are. And there's so much that can happen when we join together and just be present with one another. I want you to meet the amazing healers that are working with us. We've got Sadiqa, who's going to be doing cooking and connecting with plants, and all in group work. We've got some parenting stuff, postpartum stuff. Of course, we've got pregnancy, and we've got things for birth professionals too, like a doula circle and things like that. So anyways, that's about all I have to say for now, but I'll see you at the summit, April 23rd to 25th, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.